And hi everybody, it's great to be with you today. I'm just going to spend a few minutes talking about great behaviours that underlie business partnering. But first, a little bit about Ogilvy. We're one of the world's largest advertising, marketing and communications businesses, and we're all about making our clients' brands matter to their audiences. In Asia alone, you've got our stats here. This is just the Asia bit of the business. 32 offices, 18 markets, 29 cities and over 5,000 people. FP&A for us is part of the market finance function and not a separate department. So the finance guys mix up FP&A as part of their roles. And forecasting for us is a real mix of art and science. I'm going to talk to you today about 3 behaviours for great business partnership, and I'm going to leave you with a takeaway top tip at the end. Our goal as FP&A is to come back with forecasts that are challenging yet attainable. And through this, I want to say, building on what Douglas and Hans both said earlier, that partnership here, business partnership, is about having a conversation with the business and coming up with forecasts in collaboration with our business leaders. So that's the underlying what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to illustrate with 3 different quotes. My first point and first quote is from our founder, David Ogilvy. He said some awesome things, but one I'm going to push on today is if you want to be interesting, be interested. For me, this illustrates the point of understanding the business. Be interested in the business that you're in so that you can develop an interesting point of view about it. Now, understanding the business is a nice broad term, and you can certainly know a lot about the finances that are in there, but how do you really learn about what we do? People love to share. So give people the opportunity to come and talk to your FP&A team about what they do with their day jobs and what exciting things they've been working on. Explore the different departments and how they fit together. Get them along to your meetings to present, to show you the latest products, the latest services, to talk about the results and what their challenges are this year. Take the FP&A team on a field trip. Go to the warehouse, go to the factory, go and learn more about the business from there. I think there are lots of ways to understand the business, but it really informs your point of view to first be interested in what we do and passionate about the place that you spend so many hours every day. For my next behavior, I picked another quote, one of my favorites from Stephen Covey: seek to understand first and then to be understood. I love this quote. It's about asking questions and being curious before you start just sharing your point of view in there. And for me, this illustrates knowing your audience. And this is really important for business partnership. You need to know not only the people that you're working with, firstly know about their goals and their drivers. Are they being measured on revenue growth this year? Do they need to get margin improvement? Are they being measured on customer retention or other KPIs? It's so important to understand the KPIs of the people that we're partnering so that you know where the perspectives are coming from and what they're trying to achieve. The other thing to know about your audience, though, is not just about the numbers, but also understand how they receive, process, and like to see their information. There are certainly people in the world like us that love nothing better than a great big spreadsheet with loads of info in it. But I know in my business, I work with creative guys. They really don't like numbers. And actually what they love is for me to give them 2 or 3 key insights. A simple dashboard with some color coding, a chart. It's much easier for them to interpret, to take in what I'm trying to ask them to understand, and importantly for them to understand it enough to pass on that information to their stakeholders and get those forecasts approved. So I think a big piece of that knowing your audience is knowing how they receive and process their info and presenting your numbers in a way that will get the insights and the action that you need. So do think about how different people need to receive info to learn. We also talked a little bit about storytelling earlier, and this knowing your audience is the basis of really good storytelling. I know storytelling is kind of a scary concept to a lot of us. We've spent most of our life pretty much maybe a little bit introverted, not so good at the whole storytelling thing, but I promise you it's something that you can learn and people would love to teach you, and the audience analysis is right at the base of that. For my final behavior today, I'm going to talk a bit about your brand and how you want to be perceived. I found this great quote which is a reputation I would like to have a reputation for good judgment, for fair dealing, for truth, and for rectitude, which is in itself a fortune. Now, I must admit, I had to look up the word rectitude. Apparently, it means morally correct behavior or thinking. I thought that's perfect for finance. But I love those words of a reputation for good judgment and fair dealing. As a business partner, I'd love people to think that way about me, and that's why they come to me for advice. It's all about building that trusted advisor brand. Many of the finance departments of the world, unfortunately, have a reputation for always saying no. We definitely don't want to be those people. That's not partnership behavior. There are definitely times when you need to say no. Actually, it's our job to make sure that we look after the governance of the business, and when it's not right, we have to say so. But equally, on the flip side of that, we don't want to be the kind of partners that always say yes either. Pleasing people is great, but when it's not the right decision for the health of the business, it's not right either. But this is about people coming to you because you will challenge them, because you'll ask critical questions, that you'll be curious until you really understand what's under there. And ultimately, you will enable their goals and have a partnership conversation to help come to the solution together. If the answer is no, let that be an answer that you and your partner have come to through discussion and debate, and that by the time they leave the room, they agree it's a no as well. Maybe not a no, but a not right now, or not until you hit certain milestones. But partnership is all about having that conversation. But let us be people that have a reputation for good judgment and fair dealing, so that people want to come to us for that critical thinking. So my 3 behaviors for today are about understanding the business, are about knowing your audience, and are about your brand and having a reputation for good judgment and fair dealing. And I'm going to leave you with a tip on how to kind of make those behaviors stick. As some of these things are quite new to people, particularly those who are starting out in FP&A and wanting to learn. Just walking in tomorrow and saying, I want to know my audience, sometimes it's quite hard to know how to start. So as leaders in FP&A, we need to model that behavior to the people in our team. If we don't know how to do it, there are people around. As Douglas said earlier, the marketing guys would love to help you with storytelling. There are people all over the business, data analytics guys will help you look at things in a different way. There are people around to help you guys learn how to do these behaviors, but it's important that you then help the people in your team to learn it too. And one of the best ways to do that is take people to meetings with you. If you're going to a meeting, take a friend. They don't need to input. It's okay for people to just come and listen, and then debrief afterwards and say, what did you learn? What was interesting in them? How might you look at things differently? So if you're going to a meeting on your own, stop and think before you do that. I wonder if I could take someone with me as an opportunity for them to learn a bit more and ask a few questions.